A prayer for judgment continued is more commonly known as the PJC, the often sought after option for disposing of a traffic ticket. Incidentally, they're also an option for other criminal charges at times, but we're sticking to traffic law today. Now, PJC is not an appropriate remedy by law for passing a stopped school bus, for example, or for speeds over 25 miles an hour. By law, you cannot get that. Having said that, in certain counties, the district attorney will allow the assistant district attorney to lower the speed to under 25 miles an hour and then apply the PJC to that. But that is not a guaranteed outcome, and it's not an available outcome in a lot of districts in North Carolina. PJC is not an outcome that's necessarily available anywhere outside of North Carolina, although I'm not going to speak to you about that today, being licensed here. The PJC, even though it is a good option, what does that really mean? Prayer for judgment continued. It is a guilty plea, something a lot of people don't know, without judgment, which means you are going to be found guilty of the speed of 24 miles an hour, but we are going to suspend judgment so that you are not going to have license points, and typically you're not going to have insurance rates increased over that, although I'm not in charge of the rate bureau. Sometimes a PJC is not the best option, even when it is an option. For example, if you can get an improper equipment on a speed, you're always better with that because that preserves the PJC for something else. You can only use a PJC every certain number of years by law, and so you don't want to use that unless you absolutely have to in reality. If that's the best option to keep you from getting suspended, then that is great. But if you can do a improper equipment or a 9 over, that is almost always the better option. The reason for that is if you get a charge like a stop sign violation or a stoplight violation, a PJC would be one of your only possible options to reduce that. Now, if you've already used that on a speeding ticket, it isn't an option at all, and sometimes that can force someone to have to plead to a charge that is going to have financial consequences for them. So keep that in mind. If your lawyer tells you a PJC is not what we want to use here, there's a reason for that. You want to get somebody who knows a lot about traffic law, because even though you think this is just a simple speeding ticket, it can result in a suspension of your license. A lot of people in North Carolina don't know that going 15 miles over the speed limit is a misdemeanor crime. And if you simply pay that off, you are pleading guilty to a misdemeanor crime and you now have a criminal record. And it is going to be as if there was no reduction and your insurance is going to go up substantially. So it's worth a phone call to an attorney's office, even if you don't hire one. If you have more questions about the PJC, you can visit the links in the description below. Thanks for watching.